Good morning, everybody. We are recording. I don't think we have any students here. We're going to record a lesson today. And before I move on and talk about the lesson, we are working on exam 2 study guide. Actually, the study guide is roughly here. What is that supposed to mean? The exam, just making sure everything is visible. Okay, it seems like everything is. Exam 2 study guide is right here. Exam 2 will be available on June 30th at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it'll be available for a period of 24 hours. Once you start, you will get 90 minutes, 90 minutes to work on it. There'll be about 12, 13, 14 problems. All exams are cumulative. Keep that in mind. It's right here. So by cumulative, I mean you have to study some of the things we have done before exam 1, the fraction problems, and your syllabus for exam 2. As of now, I know we're going to record a lesson. I may not include it, but basically this is going to be your study guide for exam 2. Fraction problems just from exam 1, and area perimeter. I did everything from area perimeter except for problem 2 and 3. Okay, so today's lesson will be from this set. We're going to work on area perimeter 2. I'm going to do a problem. I'll record the lesson for about 1 hour or so, and then I will be available for half an hour if you want to come and see me. Tomorrow's class, tomorrow I'll be here the whole time during our class time from 11:30 till 1. If you want to come here with question to take, I'll be happy to take them. Now, I'm not going to record a lesson tomorrow. And on Thursday, you're going to be taking the exam, and Thursday, I won't be available. You will take the exam. That's how you're going to use your class time. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you have to come and talk to me or email me. Here is area perimeter 2 packet. It's a packet very similar to the previous one, slightly harder, you can argue. So I plan on doing a bunch of problems from here. I don't know how many I will do. Okay, that's the plan. So I am going to get this packet from my hard drive, but it is this packet, area perimeter 2. The answers are in the bottom. I will try to check the answers as I move on just to make sure I haven't messed up. Okay, let's see. So I hear somebody. How are you, Brianna?
Good.
So I just talked about, I think we're recording, I just talked about the exam. We have our exam on Thursday. Next class will be a review day only. People, if they want to come, I'll be available. I won't record any lesson. And today we'll do area perimeter 2. Do you have any questions, by the way, about anything specific?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's go ahead and record a lesson, and we'll have it. It's quite likely we'll have it for this today's lesson. I'm starting a new packet. I hate to start just a new packet before an exam, but it's really not a new packet. You can argue because it is very similar to what we did. It's a continuation of that. Let's see where my. Okay, once again, if I'm talking to everyone else, this is area perimeter 2, available in the folder problem sets. Answers are in the bottom, and I'm going to work on this one. The first few are not that difficult. Almost feels like you're doing something from the previous section. And I'm talking to everybody. Tomorrow, if you have problems, come and see me. I'll be here the whole time. This will be on. You may not be able to see my screen, but if you walk in and I can hear you, or if you don't hear from me, you say, hello, I'm here. I may be sitting on the next couch and watching something. I'll have my sound real low. I will be able to hear who's here. Generally, when I'm here, I'm on my computer so I can hear who's here, just so that you know how things are being done. Excuse me, I'm going to take this to the next page. Having trouble with this, but we will fix it. There we go. Okay. So this is problem 1 from area perimeter 2. Same thing, nothing to define. Perimeter is the length of the outer boundary. And area is the number of squares it takes to cover something. And these problems are perfect. If you're a middle school teacher, all those things apply. All right. Let's read the question. The figure shows, the figure below is comprised of 2 congruent squares. The blue shapes are squares. It says so. The squares in a rectangle, they're touching the way they are. The perimeter of the shape is 30. So what does that mean? That means if you walk, when I say perimeter of the shape, I mean this, 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 this. I'm doing it on purpose, just so that you can see it a little better. Okay, this is not a perimeter of the shape. This part is not any part of the perimeter of the shape. Okay, that whole thing that I outlined with wavy lines is 30 inches. The perimeter of the shape is 30. Now the rectangle's perimeter is 18. Clever. No. Let me do something. Okay. When I say the rectangle's perimeter, I mean this. Sure, that's the perimeter of the rectangle. And let me do it do a slightly better job. Oh, we have 3 people. Let's see who else is there. Okay, Jersey. Okay, so all of this green stuff is 18. Now, this part doesn't help me a whole lot. I know I'm writing in the background, but you get the point, hopefully. This part doesn't help me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear everything. Clear everything. Very carefully, I'm going to make this claim. This, change the color. Okay, this. They don't line up nicely. This and this and this. The red pieces have to be 18. Why? Because this piece can be pushed here. This piece can be pushed here. So that has to be the perimeter of the yellow rectangle, which is 18. All the red pieces must be 18. This 18. Okay, but I'm not done. I will take these green pieces. I don't know what they are. I'm going to call them X. If I knew what they are, I would be in great shape. Now I'm going to set up a nice, clean equation. The red pieces must add up to 18, no matter what, because they are equivalent to the perimeter of the rectangle. So my equation is as follows. The red pieces plus the 4x. The red pieces is 18, so 18. X plus X plus X plus X is 4x. Should be the perimeter of the whole shape. That's 30. The red pieces and the yellow pieces account for the entire perimeter. The red pieces are equivalent to the perimeter of the rectangle. Hence, we can make that claim, the claim that we're making. And I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. (30 minus 18 is 12. Divide both sides by 4. And the answer is 3. I will check my answer and I'll give you a couple of minutes to process it, but let me go ahead and check my answer, okay? So we're getting find, oh, let me double check. Find the perimeter of each square. Okay, wait a minute. So if each value of x is 3, the perimeter of the whole square, and my answer will be 3 times 4, 12. Answer. Is going to be 12 inches. Why 12? 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12. Now I'm going to check my answer and I'm going to hope it's 12. Yeah, I got it right. So I'm going to pause there a little bit for people to ask questions, process. Okay, again, I know I'm repeating myself. On Thursday, we have our exam. Tomorrow is a review day. Come, I'll be here. On Thursday, you do want to make sure you take your exam. It'll be available via BlazeView. The study guide is being worked on. It's pretty accurate as of now. I won't change the date, but I may tweak and add a problem or two. But other than that, I'm not going to do much. All right, guys, moving on. This is not bad at all, this problem. I'll let this guy slide. Let this slide move away. Okay. We have done one like this. All right, the shape below is composed of 3 congruent rectangles. So these rectangles are congruent. Okay. I'm going to draw them so that you understand this rectangle, this rectangle, this rectangle. They're all the same, identical. All right. They're touching each other as shown, blah, blah, blah. The perimeter of each rectangle is 21. So this rectangle is 21. That means the two lengths and the two widths added up will give you 21. Okay. Remember, we talked about semi-perimeter. If the perimeter of a rectangle is 21, its semi-perimeter is 21 divided by 2. That's okay. It doesn't like my semi-perimeter. That's okay. We're going to look with it. Maybe this is better. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, the semi, I'm not going to worry about that unit. What is that supposed to mean? Well, that simply means this plus this is 10.5. Okay. That also means this plus this is 10.5. Now, here is the tricky part. Bear with me. This, let me change the color. You have to analyze these problems. I've done them, so I kind of know, but you have to pause and reflect. This plus this is also 10.5 right here. Now, here's the tricky part. Let me change the color to what color should I use? Orange. Okay, this is the width. And you really have to understand this piece. And this piece has to be the length. Why? Doesn't matter how you slide the top brick from 2. If you subtract this 1 here, it's going to be one whole brick, one whole length. These 2 orange pieces is equal to the long side, and this is clearly the width. So basically, the perimeter of this shape containing 3 rectangles is 4 semi-perimeters. The red one is a semi-perimeter, the blue one is a semi-perimeter, the yellow one is a semi-perimeter, and the orange one, the tricky one, is also a semi-perimeter. So they want you to find the perimeter of the shape, and you're going to say answer. Is that same 10.5 that you can see, but this 1, 2, 3, 4 times that. And 4 times 10.5 is 42. And of course, I'm going to check my answer. I better put my unit. I'm getting 42 centimeter. Let me check my answer, then I'm going to come here and pause it a little bit, okay? That's not bad. We got it right. Okay, I'm going to pause there for a little bit for you to process. All right, guys, moving on. Okay, this one is a little tricky, guys. Okay, I call it the windmill problem. Windmill, because that's what it looks like to me. Not really that bad. Now, when you do these problems, you really want to practice at home, and you want to look at the pictures and analyze. Otherwise, it will just seem too difficult for you guys. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Let's read the question. The figure below is made with 4 congruent rectangles as before. All these rectangles are, oh, green is not the best choice. All these rectangles are the same size. Of course, they're touching each other, as you can see. Right here, it's like a windmill. The perimeter of each rectangle is 16. This is 16. All of this. I always like the semi-perimeter. Whenever things overlap, you want to go with the semi-perimeter. Okay, I'm going to write down. Is half. That's why we say semi. Okay. The semi-perimeter of each rectangle is 8. The perimeter of the whole shape is 48. Whole thing is 48. What does that mean? That simply means this, and I'm being sloppy on purpose so that you can see it, this, all of this is going to add up to 48. Okay, let's see. Now it can be done in a variety of ways. Let me think. Okay. I'm going to try it this way. All right. I don't know what the width is. I'm going to call it W. Okay. This is W. This is going to be W. And this is going to be W. Okay. I'm going to change the color. This is my semi-perimeter. And I know this is 8 from top, from right here. This is 8. Excuse me. And so is this. So is this. I know I'm redoing it, but I'm gonna get rid of the blue part, but this is just for explanation. This blue L is also 8. Now, I need to know this part. I'm gonna call it X. I'm gonna claim that X, I can write X as follows: 8 minus 2W. That's the X part. Okay, all of this is semi-perimeter. If you follow my pen, it's semi-perimeter. This minus 2W is my X. Now I'm in good shape. I can write a very nice equation. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my orange. This orange is also my semi-perimeter. This orange is also my semi-perimeter. So is this orange. And this leftover is my X, this leftover is X, this leftover is X. All right, I'm good. What's my equation? My equation is going to be each L, orange L is 8. I have 4 of them, 4 times 8. And then I have all the 4 X's. Must be the perimeter of the whole shape. Windmill, 48. And I will solve for X or W. We're going to soon see what we mean. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 4X is equal to 48. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem then. Okay, so 4X, I can't move things too much. 48 minus 32 is, I'm not mistaken, it's 16. Therefore, X is 16 over 4, which is 4. Now come here and say X is 4. 8 minus 2W. And if you move things around, you're going to get 2W equal to 8 minus 4, which is 4. Therefore, W is 4 over 2 or 2. Once you know W, remember your semi-perimeter is simply L plus W. The length of the rectangle is L. The width of the rectangle is W, is 8. If W is 2, L has to be 6 because 6 plus 2 is 8. Now you know everything about the rectangle. What do they want? Find the area of the shape. Okay, I can do that. Let me change the color to blue. Area of the shape is going to be the area of the shape is going to be all of this. And this is going to be 4. There are 4 rectangles. And each is 6 by 2 right here. 6 by 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. And your unit will be cm squared. I'm going to quickly check my answer. I know I messed it up. It looks very messy, but I'll let you be the judge. I'm going to double check my answer. I'm getting 48 for number 3. That's not bad. We got it right. I'll pause it a little bit, guys. I know there's a lot going on here. Now, this is not the only way to do it. You can do it in a variety of ways. Your main goal is to find the length and width of each green rectangle by using some algebra and understanding the figure. Now, I know since we're recording this, I don't mind doing it in a different way. The same problem. Or if you want, let me do one more problem like this. I wrote a lot here. I'm going to do this one a little differently. Okay. Let me grab this. Only thing is I have to do it very carefully. I want to make sure I don't mess up because I want to have the answer to this. I'm making up this problem. Let's try this windmill problem with save it here. I'm going to make this one 32. And I'm going to make this one 48. I'm going to do this one differently on purpose, okay? I'm going to make this one 96. Let's take this problem to my other page. All right, very similar. The numbers have been changed. All right, guys. So I'm going to do it differently. And why am I doing it differently? Well, I'm going to do it in a way where it's more appropriate for younger people. So first, you want to observe that this plus this is the length of the rectangle, okay? And this plus this is equal to length of this green rectangle. This plus this is also length of the green rectangle. And let's do the last one, orange, this plus this is the length is equal to the length of the green rectangle because this one matches. I can say that. Now, I have accounted for 4 of the lengths and there are 4 more. These are easy. I'm going to call this L here, this one, L. Well, let me change the color. Let me change the color to something unique. I'm going to make it gray. Okay, this gray L is an L. Everybody can see that. This gray L is an L. Everybody can see that. This is also an L. This is also an L. The red pieces add up to L and you want to focus and see it. The orange pieces also add up to L. The blue pieces add up to L. The yellow pieces add up to L. So how many L's do I have on the side, on the perimeter of this windmill? I am seeing 8 L's. So 8L must be your 96. That's the perimeter of the shape. 8 L's together account for the whole perimeter. So what's L? (96) divided by 8. I'm getting 12. So if the length is 12, take that same rectangle. Remember the semi-perimeter is length plus width, and that has to be half of 32, which is 16. So the semi-perimeter is 16, not 32, but L is 12. W has to be 4 because 12 plus 4 is 16. So that tells me W is 4. If W is 4 and L is 12, what's my answer? Piece of cake. I'm going to say each rectangle is 4 by 12, and there are 4 of them. And that's 4 times 48. And trust me, I know this answer is right. There's a little trick. I already see, I'm seeing it's right. I'm getting 192. Pause there a little bit. So we did 2 problems in 2 different ways. One you may like more than the other, and you can just stick to that. I think there are some practice problems on Blaze View as well. And again, if you need extra practice problem, you have to be very specific and you have to email me. Oh, we have a lot of people. I think we have 3 people today. Now you guys can, I'm sometimes not following who is in there. I'm acting like I'm recording. So if you guys want to stop me and say, can you explain that again? Don't be shy, guys. Thank you for coming to class. That's always nice to have somebody. Other than that, when nobody's there, I feel like I'm talking to myself. This is a messy problem. I'm going to warn you. It's not the easiest one. Awesome, guys. Let's move on and do a few more. I'm going to let this guy go. Well, let me do one thing. All right, I'm going to move on. You have to tell me, do another one. And if you guys have any questions, you can always, you can always say, I have a question from that section. Can you do this? You can always do it. When you guys are here, I treat this like a regular class. When nobody's here, I just record. Okay, this will seem hard. It's really not that bad. It's not as bad as the one we just did, right? Okay. I know I made the shape a little too big, and that's done on purpose because I want to draw on it. I want to see it. Let's bring this guy here. Wonderful. Now, let's read the question. The rectangle, when they said the rectangle, they mean this. This is a rectangle. That's a very important fact. All right. It has 5 small squares. I can see it. 3 large squares. The red ones are large. I can see it. The small squares are 1 inch square, are 1 inch square. You can say inch square, but I can say 2 inch squares. They're an inch square. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, so on and so forth. All right. Okay, find the perimeter of the rectangle shown below. That's all we know. The blue squares are 1 inch on each side. That's all we know. So I'm going to claim, guys, this is 5 inches. Why? There are 5 of them. Each edge is 1 inch. And this is 1 inch. Clearly, it's the same blue square. And this is 1 inch, the same blue square. Now, here's the tricky part, guys. Here's the tricky part. This is also 5. This is also 5. If this is 5, I know a lot about the red square. 3 of the edges of the red squares add together to be 5. So each edge, I'm going to do it here. It has to be 5/3. I'm going to leave it as 5/3. You can, of course, use your calculator. And this has to be 5/3. I'm done. I have accounted for all the sides. All right. So the top length is 5, the bottom length is 5. What's the perimeter? Okay. Let's see. Perimeter of the large rectangle is 5 plus 5 plus 5/3. Okay, careful, 5/3 plus 1. And 5/3 comes twice, and 1 comes twice. Now, you can use your calculator. 5/3, according to my calculator, is 1.666. You can do that, okay? But I'm going to say 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 is 12. And 5/3 plus 5/3, we have done plenty of fractions, is 10/3. Okay? And of course, you can, this turns out to be 12 plus 3.33. That's what your calculator will tell you. So this turns out to be 15.33. The unit is inch. So it'll be inches. Now I'm going to quickly go check my answer. Okay, and I'm going to do one more like this. Oh, great. 15, where did I go wrong? Oh no, 15 1/3. We're good. We're good. Take a look. 15 1/3, that's what we got. 15.33, that's 1/3, really. So we are okay. I'm going to pause it a little bit. I'm going to do one more like this for you guys. Okay, that's the plan. And that gives you an idea how I might change this problem on the exam. I'm going to show you right now. So you're working with a few fractions, okay? The 5/3, I left it like that. I like my answers in fractions. If you don't like it, you can just write down, 1.666. That's totally fine. So let's try one, okay? I won't have a very good way to check my answer. I'll have to just do the work carefully because I'm making it up. I don't have an answer. Let's take this. Same problem. And this is exactly how I make your exam 3 large. I'm not going to change the picture. I have tons of pictures, but here I'm going to say 2-inch squares. Everything else is the same. And I'm going to take this question. Bring this guy here. And look, it now says the blue squares are 2 inches on each side. Well, how does that affect my problem? It affects a little bit. This whole thing now has to be 10. I know you can barely see it. This whole thing is 5 times 2 is 10. I'm not going to worry about units, but it's inches. This tells me this whole thing is also 10. And this tells me this is clearly 2. This is clearly 2. Now these two are important. If 3 red squares, when you put them right next to each other, the total length is 10. You take your 10 divided by 3, you get 10/3. and 10/3 is 3.333. You can write it like that. I don't see a problem. So what's the perimeter? The perimeter of the large rectangle is account for everything on the side. I'm saying seeing 10 twice. I am seeing 2 twice. And let's do this one a little differently. Okay. Okay, this is going to shut us down in 5 minutes, but don't worry too much. We should be able to finish it. I'm going to put a 2 here, 10, and this 2, 2, this yellow 2 right here, and 10/3. And that turns out to be 10 plus 2 is 12, 24, plus 20/3. And 24 plus 20/3 is, let's find out, 24. I'm using my calculator and you can do the same. It's 30.66, 30.66. And you know that that's really 30 2/3. Either one will work, and the answer is inches, whichever one works for you. So I'm going to pause there a little bit. I'll pause here a little bit. Okay, guys, it's going to kick me out any moment, okay? Why don't we get out of this session and come back really quickly? I will record a few more. I'll record at least 2 more problems today. We have a little more time, okay? We have like good 20 minutes, and we will be right back, guys. Same link. See you soon.